Alright, so we finally got the recording going live. We're about to start live on TikTok. We're about to start TikTok. We're gonna go over the morning news. It's something. What did we name this? What was the name of this stream? So we're sharing things out. So it's kind of boring right now. I almost forgot I'm live. Oh, we're gonna just go live. All right, so we are live today. Chaos Cast is a go. Got a lot of crazy events to be taken into account and talk about. I'm gonna send this out to a number of folks. Get them in there. Get it going. Welcome in. If you're coming in, it's Saturday morning, so I know everybody's just so tired. Big John's Life. Welcome in, bud. Good to see you. So we got a lot of different things to talk about, but we've had another shooting in DC. Let's share this mug out. We got one person in there. 75 likes already. Heck yeah, 90 likes. Big John, thank you, buddy. Rough Road, welcome in. Edgar Renus, Ronald Acton, Smiles, thanks for coming in. User 43, couldn't sound them numbers. The J, Brandon 4, Omar, Alpine Camalo, Eric Jeffrey, welcome in. Script, Tony Stevens, welcome in. Crevens 13, welcome in. I got welcome in. We're going to be talking about insanity around the world. It's what we usually come up. Check Max, welcome in. I'll give you a follower since you commented. Jack Asana, hello, how you doing? Welcome in. Talking about the crazy stuff around the world. We're already up to 64 people. I don't think this account is keeping up with the amount of followers, but if you are coming in, welcome in. Thank you for coming in. We're coming live from northeastern Alabama, right here in God's country, the tri-state area, right here at the state line of Tennessee and Georgia. And we're going to talk about some crazy stuff. So if you're just coming in, man, it's just flying up 114 already. Thank you. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for your time. If you are in here now, share this out to your friends. Share this out to your social. If we get it outside of the TikTok realm is when people start coming in more. Chop on. Heck yeah, I like that. Chop on. So we've had a mass shooting in D.C. Multiple firearms and large quantity of ammo were recovered inside the 5th floor. So right when they're passing this bill, or working on a gun control bill, you see this happening right now. That is Simba. And then we have my co-host who is continuously getting in trouble, Shotgun. Why do we name him Shotgun? Because I traded the shotgun to get him. There may have been one of the kids slipped by. But we're looking at some battle rifles. We're looking at, it looks like they had a tripod. Now, if they try to say bump stock and tripod at the same time, no, that's a doggy. But if they try to say a bump stock and a tripod at the same time, look, that's a complete freaking lie. It does not happen. The more and more they say things like this, I think these people commit these acts and then they utilize a situation to bring things in. A bump stock will not work with a tripod. The whole thing with a bump stock is the motion of the gun is slamming it into your slamming the trigger into your finger to mimic an automatic weapon, but it goes boom, boom, boom. It's going in reset and access. Now they're showing a Glock here. Looks like a Glock 19, 9mm. So yeah. And here's the thing with Glocks. No matter what you believe, they're 3D printing these things now. You can buy the parts en masse. So I'm just going to say this. With these shootings, it is terrible things, but be mindful, be prepared for the situation. These are basically ambushes. You have to fight into an ambush. If you have to run, you have to be proactive. You have to run, you have to hide, or you have to fight. So yeah, gun laws are what they want to push, but I'm going to tell you, no law is going to stop a criminal from shooting you. So be mindful of that. Take your safety into your own possession. Don't wait on a policeman to come save you. Don't wait on government officials to make laws to save you. Take these into account because gun-free zone has always been synonymous with fish in a barrel. So I do want you to know that these guns will not be gone from the criminals' hands. The people that will commit these acts will find them, will get them, will hurt you. So be proactive. No matter what you believe, you need to have a plan. You need to talk with your kids. You know, too big to hide. Copenhagen long cut straight. All right, there you go. So share this out. Let's get more in. We got a lot more news that we were talking about. We were talking about how you've just got so many processing facilities catching on fire. Being Papa John, Big John, thanks for cranking them likes out. We're at 642 likes. So if you're in here, I'm going to ask you to share this out and help us get the likes to 1,000. Let's set that goal right now. Let's get the likes to 1,000. Let's push this out as our friends wake up and come in. How you doing, Fabulous? Good to see you again. It's good to see you again. All they do, they just don't report it. We've always had guns and we didn't have this violence like we do now. It's a damaging thing. Null entry. And these other countries do have stabbings, violent crime. So then you got to take that into account. How can you defend yourself? Hey, Patch, good to see you. How can you defend yourself against violent attack? Do you have a plan for that? Because the police will not always be there. Probably streets. Probably. I like that comment. You've seen a lot of this. Kids around here used to drive around with guns hanging in the back windows. Never had this happening where we at. Never had this kind of stuff happening. It was mainly happening in urban areas. It was happening with some. It never was happening out here where I'm at. Then it just started happening. And it mainly started happening around the time when they started pushing gun control. Now notice how it is. Yep, you're right. Yeah, never shot nobody. Nobody ever got shot. Let's give you a follow. Now we're gonna have some Go Biden folks come in here, and then I do ask you, let's not worry about throwing Trump in here. Let's stay off the politics of politicians. Yeah, I did. Yeah. Rifles in your trucks. We carry pocket knives to school. We wasn't stabbing each other. It's insane. Connie here, welcome, man. Let's share this out. But yeah, another shooting. Now, how many shootings have we had come up since Biden started talking about gun control? That leads me to believe, are we safe? Are we safe in our own country? That's insane. Oh, running this out. Trying, Boston. Am I following this account, bud? I'm not following you. You don't follow me. 70s girl, welcome in. So when it comes down to gun control, it does not protect you. Gun-free zones. If they don't have guns, you're going to have machetes. Down in Brazil, this is where this comes from. Folks were coming out and attacking people with machetes. Right now in South Africa, you're having food riots. Thanks, Dave, for the follow. We have so many under everybody. A gun-free zone does not protect you. It does not protect you. I'm just going to guarantee you that. A country that has extensive gun laws does not protect you because violent crime goes up. Did you get banned on your other one, Boston? Yes, it does, period. Now, are you saying that gun-free zones protect us, period? Or are you saying that guns, what are you saying? That's insane. You cannot, all right, here's the thing. You've probably never heard of a ghost gunner, the ghost gunner. They can mill the guns out. There are hundreds of millions of guns in America. You'll never get rid of all of them. They never got rid of all the fully automatics. They're all out there. That's what they work towards. Yeah, we've had teachers conceal carrying. There's some of them that just conceal carrying. You will never get rid of them because, see, here's the thing. We were just talking about this. People are 3D printing Glock lowers. Shotgun, get in here. He's in there. I must have left that bathroom door open. Get out of that bathroom. There we go. Daggum dog. Ignorant thing. All right, we're at 1.2 thousand. Ghost guns, you can't stop ghost guns from being a thing. No, he was in the garbage in the back bathroom. He does that. The ignorance of ghost guns shouldn't be a thing. You cannot stop it from being a thing. People can mill out barrels, and in the South, they will. How do I know? Because over in Pakistan, they got extensive gun laws. They had a whole town of people. You had kids reloading bullets on dirt floors. You had people milling out guns in little shanty shacks. Their thing was gun control is for gun control. I can sell a gun to somebody and there's nobody knows about it. This is Alabama. We have the right to carry here. Gun control. controlling it. People with guns. He stabbed. How do you know? How do you know this? How many? See, that's the story that got on the news. We know that here. I'm talking about your ignorance there, Kirby Christine. I usually don't get too argumentative, but look, ghost guns shouldn't be a thing. That's the whole point of ghost guns. They can't stop it. They can't regulate it. They don't know. People are 3D printing these things. You'll never stop. Can you stop hackers? There's always people still hacking. Well, they can still pass those that information on how to get your 3D printed. You think Europe don't have fully automatic weapons? There's videos all over YouTube of people that are in secret 3D printing weapons. Yeah, the government was selling those guns to the gun runners. It amazes me. People want to call people ignorant, and they know nothing. They know nothing about guns. They don't know what a ghost gunner is. A ghost gunner is a basically a 3D milling machine that you can put an 80% complete lower. And an 80% complete lower is not hard to create. My brother has machining equipment and could make 80% complete lower in his garage. I watched a guy, people made them out of wood. People 3D printed AR-15 lowers. People are 3D printing Glock lowers. Then all you need is barrels, springs, and these things can be manufactured. You think the meth laws have stopped these people from making meth? No, they just started buying the materials and making them themselves. Yeah, gun controls only control us. Osiris can't remove the technology from the brain. I like that, bud. You cannot stop hackers. You cannot stop people on the dark web from trading these secrets. There's people over in other countries getting these secrets, and they will always be there. You'll never be able to delete them, and they will be able to put these in their 3D printers. The 3D printing and milling of weaponry. Hey, Becky Boo, good to see you, girl. The 3D printing and milling of weaponry is just exponentially grown in the last decade. Connie here, thanks for the follow. I'll give you a follow back. You are not going to be able to control guns anymore. Australia did not stop gun control. I've talked to Australians. There are guns in that country. 60% of the guns are still there hidden in wall closets. No, I think we should have resource officers. We should have trained teachers there. That's programming flaw. That is an ignorant statement. It's an ignorant argument. Now, I do know 5-year-olds that can go out in the woods and kill squirrels that have been hunting. I mean, it was nothing when my uncles were little. Their grandparents sent them out with firearms, and they hunted to provide for the family. Hey, Teller House Cookies, we're talking gun control. It's the only political thing we'll talk about. They can't stop you. It's freedom of speech, basically. The 3D passing information, that's freedom of speech. Yeah, solar power 3D printer kind of frees us to manufacture anything. Yeah, that's why I'm saying, hey, Benny, welcome in. Education is the key. There's so much lack of education. You know, a majority of the gun violence they preach, 30,000 deaths a year to gun violence. 20,000 of that is people that were going to kill themselves one way or another. They just used a gun to do it. They were going to hang themselves, and you cannot stop people from killing themselves. I had a friend, he was put in jail, and he hung himself with his underwear. You cannot stop a person that wants to commit suicide. So, yeah, 10,000 people dying from gun death. Yeah, that's terrible. That is terrible. No way around it. But how can we stop that? Because the laws are not stopping it. We have extensive gun control laws that have still not stopped it. I mean, you can say this, that, and other. You can play on emotions, but they have not stopped anything. And some of the worst gun violence happens in large urban cities that have extensive. I mean, the shooting the other day in New York City, you cannot carry anything their carry laws are very strict. You can't carry anything over a 5-round revolver. The dude, I think that's what he was carrying, was a 38 special. I don't believe so, programming flaw. If you had a good understanding of guns, you would understand a lot more about what we're saying, but you don't. Obama shut down the mental health clinics. Now all the Democrats want to defund the police. No, the Second Amendment said it should not be infringed upon. A well-regulated militia. That wasn't not even talking about the guns. It was talking about the militia itself. People in the militia, you need to have training for them on how to use guns. Yes, but it's not regulating how you have to have training. Do you need to have training to use a kitchen knife? Do you need to have training to use a broom? Do you need to have training to use a hammer? Do you need to have training to use a saw, a skill saw, a table saw? It's good to have, but here's the thing. It's not Trump talking points. Screw Trump, man. Screw the whole thing. This is gun talking points. This is ignorant people that have no knowledge of guns. You can barely hold a kitchen knife. And you want to tell me we need a well-regulated militia means I've got to be tested. Look, I've been using firearms since I was 14 years old. I've been through training. Fine. I know people that can shoot better than me, that are safer with guns, that have never had a bit of training. No, most people don't train to use pocket knives. They don't train to use butcher knives. It is they are tools. Now there is training for them, but most people pick them up and learn to use them. Now Trump just picked these up and started using these talking points. I mean, just be honest. And you are picking up Biden's talking points. You're picking up Harris's talking points. I'm not worried about politics. I'm worried about these are my guns. Now, here's the amazing thing for gun control advocates. Here's the amazing thing. This is the point where your whole ideology flips. You're not getting the guns. You'll never regulate the guns. You haven't regulated the guns. You haven't controlled the guns. You have never successfully controlled guns. You have just pushed them into the background in every place that you have tried to control them. They have limited news. They have limited information from getting out, but they've never completely stopped it. And Australia is the perfect place. Mexico is the perfect place. Canada's even a perfect place. The UK is a perfect place. You don't hear about it, but these people are 3D printing guns. These people are obtaining guns. You have not controlled the guns ever. You have pushed it into the background. And in America, a place that and I heard a comedian talking about it the other day. He was talking about the amount of rednecks with arsenals. You never got the fully automatic weapons. There's still tons of people. Tennessee, there's an area in Tennessee, one of the biggest holdouts. They got tons of fully automatic weapons from World War I, World War II, surplus that farmers were buying. There's people with dynamite. Heck, that's supposed to be regulated. Can you regulate bombs? Can you regulate chemicals? You cannot regulate anything. Yeah, the most domestic violence happens without guns. You got laws against that. Laws are for criminals. Exactly, Corum. I believe it will. At first, it'll be batteries and ammo and probably canned food, but then as people get used to living without electricity, as people begin to figure out other ways of making food, ammo will remain a currency. If you look at like Walking Dead, now there will be, they just show this future with no guns, all the guns broken down. Guns last for, Lord, a gun's gonna last well over 100 years. I mean, there are guns I've had that are 60 years plus, mass murderers were good guys. You're full of crap. That's a fake statistic. That's not even true. Yeah, Ukraine wished they had guns. Of course, now Ukraine had from what I understand, Ukrainians could own firearms. And you look at what's happening now. Now, this is the great thing to look at. They were handing out guns, but supposedly they had very robust freedoms with their guns already. So there's people talking about just these weird guns that's being used by private citizens in the Ukrainian war. And you look, Russia is not successfully overtaking that country because you have people that are armed. The citizenry is armed. So why will people not invade the American mainland? Why won't China just come in here and try and take over? Why can't they come in here and take over? Why can't the government rule us like China? Right now, China's got all their citizenry basically locked down. So let's think about that. Why can they do it? The citizens can't do anything. Why were we able to go out and protest in the streets? Why were we able to resist mask mandates, lockdown orders that were killing people's businesses, that were killing? Because the citizenry is armed. Because the citizenry is armed, and you cannot stop the citizenry here with tyranny. I mean, you can't. That's why they want to take the firearms. That's why they have brainwashed folks that come in. Thousands of guns. There's about 10,000 gun deaths from violence a year. 20,000 from self-inflicted wounds of suicide. So that's one of your talking points. They say about 30,000 deaths a year to guns. So we done covered that. We're getting stirred up in here. We got to get back to the news today, so I shouldn't even got into gun control. Man, how did I get into CBS News? Well, it was 3 people. Now it's 4 people that's wanted in D.C. Let's go to YouTube and pull up some things from YouTube. So again, if you're in here, thank you for coming in. Let's share this out. Let's bring in more folks. Texas Junkus. I hope TX Junks. I hope that's I said that right. Let's go into some other talking points. Now we were talking about here we go. We were talking about just this insane amount of processing plants that have been either set on fire, burned, all kinds of insanity going on. So let's look at it. Which first one we want to look at? So we had a plane crash into the General Mills plant here, I believe it was a day ago. We were talking about that. Where is the playlist? Here it is. I don't want to play it all. I just want to.
If you get attacked and
I want to go into the playlist. It just wants to play it automatically. Why didn't it let me go up here? There we go. So we're going to play a video from the plane crash. It's not showing it. But we're going to give you, I can't do it. But yeah, there was we'll replay that. So you had a plane crash into the General Mills facility. It's on fire. So there's been a ton of, and most of it's in the Western world.
What the heck?
Waiting on the signal. Let me go up here.
What the heck?
Elon Musk fortified.
Nah, just let them go, Beanie. We'll let them go.
From the New York Post, the Tesla
Let 'em cry.
CEO is willing to invest up to $15 billion of his.
I incited that. He's gone. I incited that. Let him. Just let him. I incited it, so I'm taking that. I got into gun control. That's my fault. Thank you, though, Beanie. Beanie's always got my back. So we're talking about the food chain. So our processing plants. What?
Could have helped me with the dog.
What did he do?
He woke me up.
I had the door shut.
He busted the door open.
You couldn't help me with the dog. You busted the door open. All right. So the plane has crashed. We were talking about this. Just this insane. You can go back and watch the video on my account. This insane amount of processing plants that's been hit, caught on fire, burned down. So, hey, Minnie Haven Homestead, thanks for the likes. Welcome, man. I didn't know you was in here. It's good to see you, friend. So we're up to 4.9 thousand likes. Marjorie and her dementia. Defend Marjorie and her dementia. Not Meat's back. What? He just wants to be with his people. He got tired of sitting in the background. 20 haven't even been added. Huh. So there's 20 factories that have not even been hit. Marjorie Taylor Greene, is that who you're talking about? I don't know. All right. So there's something that I was looking at today. This has been about a week or so ago. And I was listening to this guy.
So I said, so what you're basically
I'm going to let you
saying
listen to this.
is
Now, they're talking about our beef and a lot of our meat.
imported in from other countries.
Now, this is a farmer. I think he's raising grass-fed cattle.
It's made in the USA. So when we look out here and we see these cows,
All right, so I'm going to let you listen to this. Let me know if you can hear it.
the Epic Times, where he was talking
I'm
about
not sure
how
what you're
some
talking
of
about,
our
not
meat coming from our local butchers is actually coming from places like China
Not me.
and Venezuela. And just all you wouldn't know.
So everybody
where
that
it's coming from.
says
And then it's
that our
packaged.
meat comes straight from the U.S., here's something to give you an understanding of what's.
Depending on how editing goes. But Jim and I were just talking. You know, Jim, I
Can y'all
read
hear
an article
this?
the other day by a guy named Wesley Schenk on the Epic Times, where he was talking about how some of our meat coming from our local butchers is actually coming from places like China and Venezuela. And just all you wouldn't know where it's coming from, and then it's packaged here, and it's
coming from other countries.
made in the USA. So when we look out here and we see these cows,
And it's being processed in America,
would you
and they're able
that
to say
kind
it's
of
American made.
labeling is deceptive compared to people think they're buying a product that you're creating, the way that you're doing it. But what's the difference between what they're buying in the store and what you're doing here?
Well, the basic reason is they don't know where the beef is coming from. It comes from a grocery store that they assume that beef is safe, and it very well may be. But for example, the USDA has approved beef coming in, imported in from other countries, Argentina, for example, Venezuela is another one, and it comes into the USA. And as long as that carcass is cut, packaged, and labeled as, it will be labeled as product of the USA, and that is totally.
Yeah, that's
It's
true,
not correct.
Osiris.
It's misinformation. It's just information that the end consumer thinks that, okay, that product is a product of the United States, US of A, and it can come from any one particular state. They have no clue that product comes from any one of the countries. So I asked some
Now, one of the things to note here is what they talk
and they
about
said, well,
next.
actually, that product is actually USDA approved.
USDA approved.
And I said, oh, okay, well, that's interesting. I said, so
Listen to
we
this.
have USDA inspectors in those countries? Oh,
That's
no.
true,
The
Osiris.
USDA does not
Swamp Fox,
actually
welcome in.
reside at these plants in these countries.
Missoula,
They give them
welcome
a
in.
set of USDA guidelines, and they have to follow those guidelines. So I said, so what you're basically saying is it's the honor system. They're supposed to be doing it the way that USDA says they should be grown, if you will, and then it comes into the United States. So here we go again, is the honor system, and everybody's not going to honor that honor system. But the end product here is consumers want to have.
So I'm going to go to the next video. That'll be another talking point. So
outside of Ukraine.
So let's look at that. Welcome in, Fisherman 700. So it's made in it's labeled made in the U.S. because it's processed here. All right, but it comes from other countries. Now it's USDA approved, but they don't have USDA agents in those countries. They give them a set of guidelines, and they say, okay. Oh, okay. We'll talk about that in a second. This is my friend Dean, 60-foot gorilla. He's wanting to bring in some. We're going to bring you up in a second, bud. So they're saying this food it's USDA approved because they're following USDA guidelines. So how do you know? Well, they don't know. They just give them a set of guidelines. It's the honor system. Alex Maury, welcome in. Crush, welcome in. Louisiana, welcome in. Thanks for them likes, Minnie Haddon Homestead. Let's see if we can get them likes up to about 6,000. Maybe we're at 6,000. but it's showing me 5.7 thousand. So let's see how high we can get that up. Danny Moses, if you're just coming in, let's share this out. Let's get more folks in. Let's crank it up. John Morris, thanks for the follow, my friend. All right, Dean, do you got? Yeah, you got enough to go. Let me send you. Dean, send me a request to go live, and I'll bring you up. You can talk about this building industry stuff because I know you know a lot about the building industry. Will it let you send that? Thanks, Osiris. Thanks for getting them last. So we're at 6.4 thousand. Let's see if we can hit 7,000 right now. Connie here, welcome in. Thanks for the likes. Let's share this out to your friends. Share it outside the app to other socials. Let's see who we can get in here. The little rings, I guess you said, the infinity rings. Tap that, or the multi-guest, the two people. Tap that. Let's see. Pink and blue. Yeah, Beanie the Bouncer's right. See if you can tap it. You don't have those? Let me see. I made you as a moderator. Are you banned from going live? Can you go live and then send me a request to go live? Because then we can just do a dual live and you can come in and it'll have your big picture there. Perjury Taylor Green. Yeah, go live and then send me a request to go live together. And we'll do that. There's always something going on with one of these apps. Dean, he builds buildings. He builds. He sells a lot of buildings. He does a lot of work in the building industry. So he's gonna update. He told me a while back about the issues they were having with their supply chain. Y'all not seeing the multi-guest symbol? Huh. Let me see if I can. It's showing Buzzard Life Commander, Beanie the Bouncer, Osiris, and Jeffrey Clark likes trees, but it's not showing Dean. Now, there's been a lot of issues with this thing. Okay, it's there now. Dean may be going live now. Is Buzzard Life in here? Buzzard Life! Thanks for the likes, folks. Hit that co-host button and let's see. The Pallet Cabin Man. I love Pallet Cabin Man. I love Pallet Cabin Man here. I love his accent. I love how he talks. Becca Boo 02. Becca Boo went live. Everybody's going live right now. Saturday morning. We're waiting on Dean. He's going to give us an update in the construction industry. While we're waiting on that, now I watched the video. I watched a lot of Canadian Prepper. Now he talks
territory if it comes down to it. Russia will treat U.S. and NATO.
Why aren't
skip that ad.
Yes, you. Why aren't you the landlord? Every day you.
NATO vehicles for transporting weapons to Ukraine as
so they're already. This is
military targets.
So what's happening right now? There is a official from Moscow that has said they're talking about hitting targets outside of Ukraine. They're talking about shooting down if the U.S. or other countries are providing supplies. They will shoot those. They will take action against them. So they're talking about attacking people outside the U.S. So I'm going to play this.
Russian Deputy Foreign Minister
Listen to this. This is
Rykov told TASS, which is a Russian news agency. Now, we know that Biden
bag it up.
Moscow has the right to target U.S., NATO, and NATO. And I should say that since the release of this
there we go.
Numerous Ukrainian planes have been targeted and destroyed.
What are you doing?
Just another day in high society, man. I actually, I made some
Thanks, man.
Some big business moves last week and some pretty big transitions, and a lot has happened since we kind of spoke last. But there's also been some a lot of things transpiring in the building community that I think will kind of bring some good content
Hey, Georgia.
to what you typically speak about.
Mm-hmm.
So, something that's kind of interesting. 2 weeks ago, so I opened a manufacturing facility in Canton, Carolina, and we got shut down. Stupid
No.
code enforcement stuff like that. We brought everything back up. Everything we're about ready to open. But while I was having a meeting with the building inspector, I was talking to him and I said, "Hey man, a lot of people want to turn these sheds into tiny houses. You know, and what's it going to take to do that? Like a lot of people are doing it, but they're not, they're not going through the proper channels, such as pulling permits and stuff." And I told him, I said, "Man, when people are buying these storage sheds and turning them into homesteads, we don't ask them if they're going to get a permit. Like, it would be foolish for us as salespeople of storage sheds to be like, hey, man, you live in your shed? Like, how awkward would that be?"
Ow!
So,
Yeah, I can see that.
so we tell him that we're doing solar and stuff, and he explained to me that last year they made a policy in this county that if your home is not hooked directly to the grid, like it has to actually be connected to the grid, that it could not pass code, that it would be condemned.
I say I've seen that here in certain counties.
Dude, so we were having this conversation. I was telling him, I was like, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. If you have enough solar and enough battery, you've essentially invested more than what most people will, in their whole tiny home in solar battery. They said it doesn't matter. So I found out part of the reason why. The usage. So they want to actually track the usage. And the reason that some of these counties are installing these meters that will allow you to do solar is so that they can track the usage of your solar. They want to know. So these meters are actually, apparently, and his explanation to me was that they're recording how much solar that you're creating. And he said that there are places that are by fashion of eminent domain taking property for the use of installing these solar farms.
So they're going.
So imagine this. Imagine you own 100 acres, and you own 100 acres. You're making your own solar energy, or you've purchased, and the sun's making so you're collecting solar energy. And then basically, if they find that large areas of these places have solar and are getting a lot of solar, they're first going to go in and try to purchase the property to install solar farms. Because of course, tax that. Secondly, if you don't approve it, they will they'll use eminent domain, and they're doing this politically, saying that it's global warming, climate change. They're basically they're using climate change
Always.
at mode. So
Man, it's insane because you always have this upper bureaucracy making laws to benefit themselves. I don't like it. You cannot get away from them no matter what you do. I've looked into getting solar. I've got a guy on Clapper that does it, and then I've talked to some local folks. They're giving away a free battery, but it's hooked into the grid. So a lot of people that are getting it are hooking into the grid. And now I understand why, because that's the only option. You can't do it. I'd still like to have it, even if I have to be hooked into the grid, because, then if something happened to the grid for a certain amount of time, I'd still have my own power. It's still a great option, but the amount of control that they want over us it's insane, man. Like, it shows the effect of foreign entities on our country because, they bring this ideology into our country. And I can guarantee you a majority of the people that are making these bureaucratic laws are probably second generation Americans and they worked their way into power, and they're like, we're going to turn this into one world, yada, yada, yada. Nobody owns anything. Have you heard this? It's on the UN website, Klaus Schwab, that whole group.
Yeah, I've heard that, that it's basically it's what's happening. An interesting argument is being made is that basically you have a lot of these municipalities that are making it so hard to build that people are leaving.
Yeah.
And it got to make you wonder, where do they go?
Here.
Question.
Here, they're coming here. We literally do not have. There's some, like I said, there's some counties doing. I don't know why I grabbed this, but it's just we bought this for the kids. It's just sitting there like I gotta get it.
Got to do a desktop.
Desktop. You ain't never lived unless you done a desktop in the living room at your computer desk. Hey, I got a computer now. I finally got into the 21st century or 22nd, whatever it is now.
I just how do you flip the screen on this deal? I never used TikTok, dude.
You got to tap the three dots and it gives you that option.
All right. I tap the three dots. I don't even see it, bud. Dude, I think that maybe I'm crazy or something. First, I couldn't find the thing to go live, and now I can't find the thing to flip the screen.
It takes some time. Like down here, there's a lot of building laws, like when you're in the city, when you're around like certain areas, and some counties that are more urban, I guess say like outside Huntsville. But there's just not a lot of building laws, especially like in Jackson County on these mountains and these backwoods. So we have like tons of people moving from Florida, New York, California. They're moving into our mountains. Yeah, the subdivisions have laws, a lot of like laws that you can get caught up in. But literally, there's people living in these tiny homes. They're buying them and they're moving in. They're starting little homesteads. If you get a chance, check out my trade day, Collinsville trade day videos. Like the animal quarter is just blowing wide open because you have so many homesteaders, and they're like, a lot of them are from Florida, different areas. They move in here, buy an acre, 2-3 acres, and they'll just start raising animals. And then bam, here they are. Plus the Hispanics, we got a lot of Hispanics that come in. I got some friends that I show on there. They raising animals. Like you can literally do anything you want. But now we're seeing this huge influx into Huntsville of business people, new construction on different new factories. So we're seeing the money come in. So you're going to start seeing the laws ramp up, because when you got people used to laws come in, find out there are no laws. Hey, we got to enact these laws. This is barbaric. These savages.
Yeah. So how about the property taxes in that area?
Not really terrible where I'm at. Like I'm in the county land. So I got an acre and a half. I got about a 1,200 square foot house, I believe. Maybe it may be bigger. I really don't know square footage.
Pickup truck. How about your property tax on your pickup truck?
Oh, we don't got no property tax on pickup truck. You got your like licenses fee. It's like
property tax on my pickup truck. Just my pickup truck.
In South Carolina? Dang. Yeah, we don't got all that.
$100.
See, people complain about our state tax, but here's the thing. Our state tax is like, usually we pay into the state maybe $1,000, where you go into Tennessee where there is no state tax, and like they're paying thousands upon thousands of dollars in land taxes. So it's like, well, I'm not going to Alabama because they do a state tax. I'm like, it's way cheaper to pay that state tax than your land taxes. And then when they come in here, like my wife's grandfather lived in the city limits. He was paying around $800 to $900 a year on property inside the city limits. That's land taxes. Now out here, I pay about $170 in land taxes a year, and that's figured into my mortgage because we refinanced, got a 30-year mortgage and all that about 5 years ago. So there's no laws. Like I can put up fences how I want. I can put up chicken pens how I want. They tried to enact these laws, and people are like, screw that. There was like a bunch of threats on their life. You're not coming out here telling me what I'm going to do with my property. All the rednecks gathered up and got behind that. There's no animal control out here. Like there's nobody coming around saying, we don't got leash laws. It's good to have your animals on leashes because if they're going to come up missing, that's just because we have varmint laws. People will shoot them. It's wild. I keep all my dogs up, but it's like,
Comment. Did you see it? You see what we got going on?
no, I'm not seeing your comments over here. Yeah, we got separate comments.
Oh, okay.
So what's
I
your?
didn't realize-
Yeah, it's different in Clapper.
Duel.
Yeah, it's weird.
Say I need to scoot over to cover up my pow pow because apparently it'll give me banned.
Sometimes.
In this world that I'd rather get banned for than that.
Well,
TikTok can cancel the crap out of me.
Well, but I don't want to get canceled because I'll get canceled for having you on. But no, it's usually you're breaking it up enough that they're not catching. I've had them in lives, like in the background with a bag hanging over it, like on a tree, my shotgun laid against it.
What this?
Yeah, the one time I did that, I forgot I had TikTok going live and I was on Clapper, and you know what I do with the 1911 on Clapper. And then all of a sudden the camera caught it, says you got a 7-day ban. I'm like, crap. So I almost lost my account, but then it blew up after that. So maybe getting banned, they're like, hey, you don't put guns on here, we're gonna have to get follows. I don't know. But yeah, dude, like we have a ton of people coming down here because we have very, very low, like very few EPA regulations. We got all this crazy, insane stuff, but it's coming, and people around here don't realize it. We got Google just came in. We got Facebook coming in Huntsville. We got an Amazon facility in Chattanooga. Apple is coming in around here, and they're putting an Apple. They're going to be putting what is it? They're putting they're going to put another Amazon facility over here by the river behind Google. So we got tech coming in. We got rich folk coming in. It's going to be here before you know it. The prices of land went. I paid $59,000 for this house, and it's pretty. You've seen my house. It's not a junk hole. My payment's like $300 something a month. I got an acre and a half of land, a little over an acre and a half. I'm on the back roads. We can shoot our guns in our backyard, shoot into the air, but we don't do it because that's not safe. And but yeah, my house price, my wife was looking at there. I think it's up to $80,000. And heck, I think the dude's down the road's got the trailer. His whole property's just like shot up. He's like, woo! He's making the big mouth now. But yeah, it's crazy, dude. The laws that some places have, and that tiny home thing, like around here, man, it ain't nothing to drive up, see a tiny house. Somebody done put them a bathroom in it. They might have a little, but they're on the grid. That's just rednecks. We doing what we normally do. Roll in a trailer.
Actually, I just bought a piece of property in Orangeburg County, South Carolina, for the purpose of having some stuff set up.
Now, is this like what we were talking about that time? You were telling me kind of how to have it off the books. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I've got that. So I actually I gave up my main business that I started and built.
Dang.
So let me explain. I'll add it up. It'll make sense. So 6 years in, and it had built up to 5 locations. My competitor, which was at 13 locations,
Hey, Jeremy.
and we talked. He says, "Hey, I'll stop progress. You stop progress. We'll come together, and we'll build together."
Mm-hmm.
Buddy, that has been explosive.
Dang.
Absolutely explosive. And we're headed right to we're headed to I'll be in Dublin, Georgia.
Let me go let him out. He's scratching. I don't want him crapping on my floor. That happened during the live once.
Crapped on your floor?
Yeah, when we were first training him when he was real little, I was on a live at the kitchen table like I used to do before I had this set up. And Brantley was like, he shotgun crapped in the floor. And it was like the kids, we had like 4 or 5 kids here. We had all my kids' cousins here. and my wife left to go to the store. Dog crapped in the floor. It was just pure insanity. I had to end the live to go clean up the dog crap. So it was wild. I think Jeremy might have been in here when that was going on. We had a big prepping for him going that day. It was in the evening. It was pure insanity. But yeah, so you have merged with this guy and it's exploding. Are you selling out to him or are you still making money off of it?
So my current partner that I had up until day before this just happened.
Oh,
Day
okay.
before, I'm trying to not get hemmed up by the TikTok police.
It's rough.
This just happened day before yesterday. I basically gave him our busiest location in exchange for the other locations. So I no longer have that partner. So he took, which is fine because the location he had is it's in our like metropolis area. I really fit it anyhow.
Yeah.
So it didn't break my heart, but it's interesting because we're seeing a massive movement in the tiny house industry, and we are actively discussing what it would take to get involved in the tiny house movement.
Oh yeah.
What we need to make to better accommodate people who want to actually live in these things.
Well, see, now I think I may have discussed with you the idea. I know I discussed it with Kevin May on Clapper, and he's all Australia, but I was talking about little satellite communities. I always had this idea, little satellite communities, and maybe tiny homes, but just a way. See, tiny homes enable people in urban areas to actually get that piece of the country and start growing their own food, doing homesteading. And oh Lord, I don't know. He got a hold of something, was chewing it, and I didn't know it. There's stuff all over the couch. Oh Lord. It's fun being a what did they call them? Fur parents now? I got a fur baby living in the dang house. I'm a fur parent. Hey, Jess, Beanie said, hey, Beanie's my moderator. Beanie the bouncer. She's down in my comments. She keeps it under control.
She's the one that came over into mine and told me to get out the.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that.
This is my wife. This is Dean. This is one of my business consultants. I ask him questions and he tells me stuff. This is
Just then run to the bank.
I feel like that was such a pretty lady, bud.
still don't know, man. It's because I shaved the mustache. I think that's what it is.
No health insurance. You better she was blind and then she got some contacts. It was too late.
Hey, I still had hair. That's what it was.
Understandable.
Yeah. She's got a lot of that life insurance on me. One time I come home, she had a $50,000 policy. I think she's just saving up and getting ready.
That's what I'm talking about.
Once I get all this content built up online, and it starts making a little money. Hey, Jeremy said hey too. She'll be able to benefit from it even after I'm dead. There'll be property rights and all that. So she's just waiting for me to hit it big and then get all the money, have that little money rolling in from social media, start taking in contracts. But I don't blame her. Hey, that's a good deal. I mean, you know how much I talk.
Either. I'm with it. Short-term disability, Aflac type stuff going on.
Jeremy says she's lucky because my wife never saw me with hair. Hey, she had never seen me without a beard, and when I shaved that, I think she considered divorcing me. The kid got scared and said, "Mama, I want my daddy to grow his beard back."
Oh man.
Oh Lord, I got out of that situation. I had to shave for fire control. It's okay. It's in my wallet. Okay, you got it. All right. She's going right now to get my money. She's going to cash a check. Yeah. Hey, here's my thing. I'll willingly give her my money because she does better with it than I do in most cases.
Tell her use this one. She can use this one. This one go.
Dude,
This one.
this is what happens when I get a hold of money. This right here. But hey, here's the cool thing. They sent me 2 of them. So at the end of the month, I'm doing a giveaway. So, but yeah, I had that. Now this is something I've always wanted to get into, but it may be something I have to pass on to you because I run out of time daily. But this whole thing of having these communities where people can lease out like a tiny home with about 5 acres of land to start homesteading and kind of having a preset a prerequisite that you have a certain kind of skill set to bring to the mix, and you got basically a prepping community. But with tiny homes, you kind of got that structure, that support structure. You kind of bring in a few guys. You have like kind of like a super that's got like if you had a guy like Jeremy. Jeremy said that's a $200 axe. That's a $50 axe, Jeremy. But you have a guy like Jeremy.
For 150.
Do what?
I said, but you'll sell it to him for 150.
Sell that axe to you for 150. I got to get my online store up on my website. It's just I got to get the money to get everything cranking on that. But yeah, like you would have somebody that had the knowledge and they could move in and learn. Because a lot of folks in the urban areas would love to do this, but they just don't know.
All the chickens and ducks are out in the front yard.
Tell Braden, go wake Braden up and tell him to get the chicken. All the chickens and ducks are out in the yard.
Is that bad? That's a bad thing?
Well, we keep them in the pen because sometimes the neighbor's German Shepherd will break loose, and he killed Henroy, my favorite rooster. And we have a black pit bull that's roaming the neighborhood. Like I said, no leash laws. So they can get in and out most of the time, the chickens can, but the ducks, they can't get up in a tree away from anything. So the ducks, we're going to lose something.
I enjoy watching your content. It's fun for me because I can poke fun at you.
Oh, yeah.
But I try not to comment because I know that I'll be fooled.
Mama.
You know, but I'm like,
Mama.
I could leave this alone. You know, and I'm just like, wait for him to another item. Like I so cute, you know, like this, the chicken run for 6,000. the Walmart.
Check this here out. This is a big old knife I got from Brazil. It don't cost much at all, man. We're gonna go out there. So you're thinking my hook on the gear reviews is just me being a redneck?
We should talk about this. I know the truth.
What? Come on, let's get it out there.
So your reviews on these items are for the sake of you reviewing these items.
Yeah.
100%. 1,000%.
What do you? What?
So I don't think you walk out to like your workshop and you're like, which one of these 600 items that I reviewed am I going to use today?
Well,
You know, like,
yeah.
it's like you go outside and you're like, you know what? It's not really that dark out today. I'll use this flashlight. On a super dark night, I use this flashlight. But today, I'm using this flashlight. The Daylight 6000. Daylight 500 came out. I'll use that when it's real dark out. See?
Phoenix
I'll
light.
use the flashlight next to you.
I got a new flashlight company. You remember I told you I was having trouble getting into an affiliate program.
M-Light?
This is a Phoenix light.
A Phoenix.
Yeah.
Is that what you're messing with now, Phoenix?
Yeah, Phoenix, man. They got a new light coming out next week. And you can go to my website and go through that link in my website because obviously TikTok won't let me put that. It's an unapproved or an unvalidated affiliate link. But yeah, and this thing gets hot too. This is a 3,000 lumen light. Jared Dale, welcome in. Big Worm, thanks for the follow.
Oh man,
Now-
all paid for that website, son. You look so serious.
Hey, Danny made that for me. You like it?
You look so like army sniper.
You know, Victory Garden Revival, Danny. She took a picture of me in my chaos hat and put the flag behind it, and I was like, that'd be great just to have there.
Wolf Distributors. Oh, I like that mug.
Yeah.
I like that. Oh, that's a 19.
Do you like the Happy Gun? That's Happy Gun Productions. When I done Gun Week on Clapper, everybody loves the Happy Gun, and the liberals hate it. The gun control advocates hate it. Look, a preacher with a gun on your shirt. That's so terrible.
All right, we can go all the way into this. conversation the other day with someone, and they were talking about contradictions and things like that biblically, and I was like, all right, look here, okay, there's a center section here. There's a center section, and everything before that center section, as soon as that center section happened, everything before that was preparedness for that. So you can't be like, oh, he doesn't have grace because he did this. It's like, no, you're wrong. There's a whole purpose to this. Did you just stop reading? Did you just read? You saw some bad stuff, and you're like, this is what I'm going to reference for the rest of my life because I'm a dumb liberal. You know,
Yeah.
like, no, there's a whole, like, even if you're not a Christian and you read the Bible and you interpret it, it's still the same. Like, you don't have to be a Christian to understand that there's a point before that, then there's an after that. This is where the grace comes, right here.
So do I have grace with this machete?
I mean,
Thinking. That's what I thought. Jesus told the disciples he said, "Put your sword on your side," and they said, "We got two." He said, "That's enough. That's all you need. Just pass it around if you don't have enough, you know." And I'm like, I can have a machete, I can have a gun, I can.
it's cool that you're a pastor and you do these things, that you. So.
Well, I mean, I've been doing this kind of stuff for years. That was one of our hooks in the youth ministry. The kids would come over and we'd just start welling away with shotguns and stuff. We'd over have a challenge who can shoot this 20 gauge one-handed. And one of them actually got the webbing cut by that little rabbit ear that you break it with. Nowhere Ranch said, "Do I have grace with atheism?" Well, I mean, there's some grace. There's always some grace. But we're going to say, we're not going to get into that Nowhere Ranch.
Welcome to the rabbit hole.
Yeah, I'm like, but
we'd be in trouble, buddy.
you do have to believe in God, but I mean,
Oh my gosh.
but Nowhere Ranch is like LOL.
Hey, what do you know about Max Diesel? What do you know about that?
I don't know nothing.
Notice anything?
I,
It's a build management company, and they build like trucks and basically vehicles for car shows, or really not for. I guess it's not specifically for car shows. All right, so I want to build a truck. I don't know all the right people, and I don't want to take the time. I pay a build management company, and they see the build through. But anyway, doing a bunch of car shows and stuff, and I think you need to start taking some of these young people to truck shows.
oh yeah. Well, I'm not really doing as much, youth ministry per se, or pastoring in a church per se. I'm doing most of my ministry here. I do the devotions on Sundays. Sometimes they turn into a Pentecostal, praise the Lord, hallelujah, Pentecostal hold down. But yeah, something that's come into my mind, I think you're going to get it. You're just going to love this whole concept. Have you ever heard of the International Cornbread Festival, a whole festival for cornbread?
No, I've not heard of this.
What is your take on
I
that?
get to hear banjos playing,
Oh yeah, we'll have it. It's happening this weekend. I'm going later today after my son's birthday party to shoot video. Now we got a lot of craftsmen there, but Lodge Cast Iron. You ever heard of Lodge Cast Iron?
Yep.
Okay, so one of their main facilities is right across the state line in South Pittsburgh, Tennessee. So they fund this, because they're a skillet manufacturer. They manufacture all kinds of crap. So they're one of the main hosts, along with, I think, U.S. Stoves Company. My dad works for them. They'll be there. A lot of Martha White, all these different people have representation there. And it's just this little downtown, kind of deal. The old buildings, they clean up the downtown. They got a movie theater down there. It's still going now. But yeah, I'm going to be there shooting video, and they have these craftsmen like blacksmiths, people that make different stuff. Plus they have Cornbread Alley, and that's different people making all kind of cornbread salad, cornbread, fritters, all kinds of stuff.
Cornbread, what?
Now this is Southern cornbread. Southern cornbread. It'll dry your mouth out in a heartbeat.
I'll be 600 pounds by the time I got to the end of that cornbread.
Hey man, funnel cakes.
We ain't got to worry about guns no more. Be death by cornbread.
Hey, I'm telling you, everybody down there, I mean, you can carry your own, you can carry your firearms. There was a threat coming in, like a gang threat. They were going to come down there and shoot folks. So they had security out there, and they told them they could carry their own personal firearms. But yeah, you can carry firearms in there. I mean, this is Tennessee, Alabama, Tennessee. We're all like Georgia. I think there's like 30 states now, right to carry, no conceal permits or anything. So yeah, everybody there, it'd be like one guy coming there to do a mass shooting. I mean, like he might get a few people, but there'd be like 20 of them sitting there just, he'd be like Swiss cheese.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Buzzard Like Commander said death by cornbread wouldn't be a bad way to go. Mayfield comes down there. You know Mayfield Dairies? They have this huge cow they bring in every year. Now, I got a friend. My friend Corey Lane, he grew up in South Pittsburgh. We grew up in each other's house. He's actually an up-and-coming country singer, so he's going to be one of the headliners there. So that's a spiel to anybody listening to Dean or me. Go check Corey Lane out on Spotify. He's cool. But I'll try and get some stuff with him. But yeah, dude, I'm gonna be up there trying to shoot some video. They have the one thing they do different than anybody, they say, is that they have that like the whole town comes together, all the churches come together for like a big service on Sunday morning, and they do that. So yeah, and then you got your carnies that come in with the big carnival. They're all kind of creepy. Yeah, and the kids in South Pittsburgh, they wail on these carnies. Like they are just the worst people to carnies in the world. I feel sorry for the carnies. Is carnies politically correct?
Who cares?
Yeah, I don't know. Do you identify as a carny? That's not. Is that what's your pronouns? But
Carney is in here, and that Carney gets offended. It's like, you're not gonna call me a Carney.
don't work for carnivals. Yeah, they were like throwing artillery shells out there at them one year. Like they lit one and threw it. One of the guys running the rides, these kids drove by and like they were in a jacked up pickup. They drove by and lit an artillery shell, threw it out there. And he walked out there to it and blew up right in his face. Like they're like terrible to these dang carnies. And it's like, you got to be a prepper if you're a carny. You got to be ready for anything. You're going to get burnt.
So the wife was sending some stuff to me the other day about wheat and how long wheat preserves. So
Lord, long time.
Like we've purchased some rations.
Have you bought some ReadyWise through my discount code?
Augustin Farms, I think is what I bought.
You need to try some ReadyWise.
I've had this since before. You haven't even came on TikTok yet, and I'd already had Augustin Farms.
E29 TEN is the discount code. Save 10% on ReadyWise.
29 TEN.
10% discount. They're like literally right now, I think they're one of the few prep food manufacturers that's actually still selling to the public. Like everybody, Augustin Farms, Mountain House, all of them have discontinued selling to the public.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I mean, like it's insane. Even I think they might be supplying government or something. I don't know, man. I know the Red Cross was going through buying up all kinds of MREs and prepping food right before the Ukraine invasion.
These guys, they support you with that promo code?
Yeah.
Okay.
E29 TEN.
Yeah, I'll certainly buy it. You can never have too much. Considering.
Beanie, it's E29 TEN. She said she was thinking it was 82910. Hey, that would be a dang cool promo code. I might talk to my rep from there. Yeah, Phoenix Flight, ReadyWise. I'm working on Chase Medical. Yeah, that's it, Benny. Have you ever heard of Chase Medical? You heard about this?
Chase Medical?
Revolutionary. You know how everybody's been stocking up on like fish antibiotics and and like antibiotics from Tractor Supply for all these years. Well, see, Chase Medical actually can legally sell you prescription medications for emergencies. Like you got amoxicillin, penicillin, all these different antibiotics, and you actually get prescribed them from a doctor. They send you booklets, and it's like the one thing. Like I'm this lady has. She's like, I'm going to call you this time. She keeps ditching me on the call. I don't really understand why. I know she's been sick. She tells me these things, and I just keep like, oh, that's fine, because I'm just wanting to get this affiliate. So
What is it?
it's Chase Medical. It's pharmaceutical grade medicine prescribed by an actual doctor, and it's legal. You know, it's not like I'm having to go buy it in bulk from Tractor Supply and shoot myself up with horse medication. But yeah, like it's the one thing I want to get. Like all these other people call me, I'm like, yeah, that'd be cool, and they send me some stuff, and I'm like, yeah, I like this. No, this is like something I emailed them and said, hey, I'd like to rep, and I don't understand what's going on. I've never had this kind of complication with a sponsor, but it's wild. Tone Maddox, thanks for the follow, man. But yeah, dude, the Phoenix light, now these are actually really bright lights. I love these things, dude. Like it's a 3,000 lumen light. Check that out right there. Already my palm is heating up right now.
Only for really dark nights.
Did I say that only for really dark nights?
This is only for really dark nights. You gotta.
Did I say that? I can't even remember. Well, like here's the thing. I've got really thick growth out here in these woods, like saplings and stuff. So you can cut right through there. You hit a crackhead just like a deer in the headlights. They freeze. Like, what are you doing, Jimmy? Oh man, I'm just
talking about when you talk about big growths, people think you have like a forest pimple, you know.
I can classify it as that. But yeah, that Jimmy be wanting to, hey Jimmy, what are you doing back here, man? He'll have a little something in his hand, he'll set it down. I'm just out here, I'm just out here in the woods, man, just walking around enjoying nature, man. So what's that you had? Oh, it wasn't nothing, man. He'll walk off, you go up there, it's like you got a weed eater that, oh, that's my weed eater. How'd that get out of the garage? And the locks on there and everything, man. Like how
When are we gonna do a live and go to see like Crazy Cousin up the road or whatever, a bunch of hillbillies? When are we gonna do that?
well, hey, he's calling down. He's went legit, man. He's just making cannons right now.
Cannons.
Yeah, about in the middle of the night. You're boom. So I think every time.
Not a cannon, that's meth. That's what that is.
No, he's still alive. No, what it is, I think he gets because I've seen the cannons going off. Like it's insane. He shot a hole in a dang car with a lug nut. And I'm talking about this is about that big around right there. But yeah, I think.
You talk to these people, these Phoenix people?
A little bit, yeah.
I need the light they discontinued. I'm gonna need that in my life.
What is it?
It's the PD 35TA.
Oh yeah, I seen that.
Oh, I need that, buddy.
They may have discontinued it.
Talking about computers. I built another computer.
Oh, that's cool. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
I think that you can get certain graphics. I don't know if they'll do that anymore, but I did see like these graphics that they do on them. They've got a new one coming out, and that's something I got to debut next week. That I was talking to the rep yesterday. They said I couldn't debut it. Hey, Big John, thanks for them likes, man. Big John stays at it. Him and Beanie, a bunch of the folks that come in here, they stay at it on this, and I thank y'all. But my man, we was up like 100 there for a while, and now it's like down to 6 people. Like, I guess we're bored. I don't know.
It's good for me. They were like, we don't want to eat this.
Well, when I'd bring in a guest, it would like just a lot of folks would come in. We'd have a good conversation. The trolls would pop in. That's what it is. I'm not arguing with trolls right now. Trolls fuel alive. I've learned that.
You want to we can go there, buddy.
Well, all of them have left.
Yeah, we have a difference of opinion on anything.
Oh yeah.
Let's do it.
No.
Buddy.
No, man, I'm about to get off here, man. I was going.
You start turning red on me.
Oh, I'm just red. I've been out in the sun, man. I've been out in a dang skid steer running a dirt mill for the last 3 days, so I'm about fried. You ever run a dirt mill before?
Yeah.
Well,
Dirt people?
yeah, it's a dirt screening mill. So right now we're digging a pond. A stock pond, and the guy doing it is just basically going to recycle the topsoil and sell it. So to get like the biggest value, you screen it. So it goes into this big hopper, and it's got a small conveyor moving real slow, and it throws it down into a shredder that shreds it apart because there's a lot of biomatter and roots and things. And then the dirt's in huge clumps. So it shreds it, runs it up a feeder into this big screening barrel, and it's just rolling it around, and a brush is keeping the screen clean. So it shoots out like roots, clods out that one end. So we sell that as mulch. Then it shoots it off into a big pile, and it just makes this huge heap. And so it's screened topsoil, and I actually got like a free truckload of it, man. It's awesome. So I just filled up a raised bed with it. But they're selling like a scoop for $30-40. Then they're selling like truckloads, though, big dump truckloads for like $500-600. So we got this whole field we're excavating to make this stock pond for like, cattle, pigs, things like that on the farm. And you can get your own piece of dirt and take it right to your house, for raised beds, gardens, and whatnot. Raised beds are probably one of the best ways to grow. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. I'm working with my brother now, so I'm fixing to go work in a quarry. I'm going to be working in a quarry. So I told some folks that what was crazy. I think the gods prepared me for this whole Putin sets off the hypersonic missile, because I just got a new flashlight affiliate with super bright lights that recharge. ReadyWise sent me some food, and now I may be getting a job. I should be getting a job in a mine that's like a city underground. It's a big lime quarry, and like when I was interviewing, I'm driving around in a pickup truck. Huh? Yeah.
Lime, like the mineral?
Mm-hmm.
What do you do? Why do we need a lime quarry?
They quarry.
Is it like deficit or something? Like, what do we?
You know what?
I'm like,
Limestone. That's where the lime you put in your gardens. A lot of lime is in a lot of food. So yeah, it's been there for decades. It's like 50 or 60 years old.
There's just all sorts of crazy stuff in Alabama that I don't know anything
Well,
about.
it's centered. This is in Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but yeah, it's like the dude. He said, "I'm gonna show you the mine. We got 2 levels." So apparently they've got like 2 levels. He's driving me around down there, and they got these huge pillars that's bigger than my house, and they're just they have to. It's a regulation, and you're just driving down this road, and they got vent holes dug up in certain areas to the surface. Got huge fans to circulate air. And like that, he was showing me spots on the ceiling where there was oil, like crude oil, that it's not enough to sell, but it's like it's coming through the ceiling. And they're driving me down. There's the heavy equipment, huge excavators down there. The job I'm interviewing is like a huge Tonka truck, huge. And so I'm going to be driving that in the mine. I love operating equipment, and but yeah. He's driving me down there. It's like a city. He's like, well, we're going to go down to the first level. It's a little higher ceiling than this level. And so we're driving down in there, driving around. And he's picking people up for lunch so they don't have to walk out. But it's pitch dark unless you got your lights. And like these folks, they're sitting in equipment over there just digging. I'm like, man, this is like the coolest thing. 50 to 60 degrees all year round.
Huh.
Yeah. I'm like,
All right, where do I apply for that? I want to go work in a lime quarry.
LaHoist.com. But yeah, dude, it was like, I'm like, this is underground city. This is where I want to be when Putin decides to kill us all. I was like, this is where I'm going to live. I'll be at work that day. Call the old lady, say, hey, get down here to the mine. We're all hiding in here.
Lime quarry.
Come down to the lime quarry. We're going to hide in the ground. And then we just come out into the nuclear wasteland, plant a bunch of sunflowers to pull the nuclear waste out of the ground, and then it'd be like Noah's Ark, except in the lime quarry.
Look at the food coming to the lime quarry. Bring your kids and all the chickens.
Hey, baby, grab all them buckets of beans and rice and get the ready wise and grab all the spices so we got some flavor in life. Get the dog. We might need meat later. Grab the chickens.
All right, well, I'm gonna get after it, buddy. I've got a couple things I'm gonna get done today for the new adventure that I'm on.
All right, man.
As this tiny home kind of thing progresses, man, maybe we'll get on the lives and talk about
Yeah.
it.
Definitely.
It'd be nice if we could get some people that were interested in that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I could do some Q&A stuff because at this point, I've done a lot of it. So,
Oh yeah. Well, with the big boom and people moving to Alabama, heck, you might want to look at setting up shop down here. Maybe buy couple old farms and just start make that a tiny home subdivision. Like
we're on the west. So
yeah.
Monday, Tuesday, I'm in Dublin, Georgia. We're going to spread across Georgia down to just like Jacksonville, Florida. And once that happens, we're just going to head west.
Well, hey, I'm doing consulting now for preparedness. So we've talked about this before. If you want to do some consulting on what to maybe look at to draw in the homesteading prepper community, which that's going to be your main community, some ideas on how to, of what to look at. There's, certain people you can look at that I know that there's certain, ways to plant, your landscaping where you have food that we can talk about. That's a lot to look at as far as what would you need to provide besides the tiny home if you do that type of community. And you could do some of them just leasing out to people that want to try it out and then possibly later on want to buy that home out, or they get the tiny home. They basically, it's theirs. The property's still yours, but they got to do the upkeep and maintenance while you're still getting like lot rent and whatnot. So you keep that money rolling, but you're like McDonald's. You're the landowner. They got to follow your regulations. But yeah, dude, I know you're busy. I'm gonna let you go. Holler at me if you want to talk about that. We'll see you, man.
All right, later.
See you later. Is it letting you go down? There we go. All right, so folks, we're gonna be heading out.
Can I have my tarp? Do I have one?
Not yet. I gotta get you one. I don't know if I got you a tarp yet. So we're gonna be ending the live. Thank you for coming in, Chico. Thanks for joining. I will be doing prayer. Man, this live just kind of tanked real quick when we got in the convo mode. It always seems to do that.
Daddy, can I use yours?
Not right now. But yeah, we'll see y'all later. Have a good one. We're gonna be having a very eventful day today. Thank y'all for coming in. All right, that live tanked, but we had some good conversations. Thank y'all that are gonna be watching this on recap. Don't ever let me end it.